A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to this Thursday night edition of Sports Tonight. Promises to be exciting, promises to be fun-filled. As always, I'd like to start the show off tonight by just saying thank you to you for joining us, and also promise you that if you stay with us for the next 50 minutes that we're bringing this show to you, we will do all that we can to make it enjoyable for you, to make it informative as much as we can. So thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tony Bitoye. Tonight we have a whole lot lined up for you on the show. Let me just start off by giving you an idea of what we'll be doing on the program tonight. There's a lot to talk about. Tennis will be one of the things we'll talk about on the program tonight. Domestic tennis, I mean. The Governor's Cup in Lagos. True to predictions, has not gone well for Nigeria. We'll talk about it on the program tonight. We also will be talking about funding for sports in Nigeria. Olympic gold, usually, Olympic gold medals are not won, sometimes are not won at the Olympic Games. They are won years and months before, when your athletes are going on tour, are playing, are getting involved in tournaments, and are going on training and getting exposed. Those are the times that Olympic gold are being won. And what you find at the Olympic Games are just icing on the cake. We will talk about funding for sports in Nigeria and the impact that funding has had, of course, in the recent times on wrestling, on tennis, on shooting. Not very palatable at all. So we will talk about that on the program tonight. Of course, football is the king of sports, as they say. We'll be giving you a slice of football on the program tonight. We'll talk, of course, of the build-up to the FIFA presidential elections, and we'll talk about Michel Platini, all around the FIFA elections, and all that will be going down tomorrow as it concerns the Court of Arbitration for Sports. That, of course, will be one of the issues we'll talk about. Of course, we can't close our eyes to the main issue of the moment, the football on the pitch, and that, of course, is the CAF Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations. Nigeria in the final, we're up against Algeria. What are we expecting? We'll continue in the light of what we did on the show yesterday. The FIFA Club World Cup is starting in Japan. We're looking for the day that the Nigerian club will be there representing Africa. We'll talk about it. TP Mazembe, CAF Champions League winners, are going to be flying Africa's flag. Remember, they've played up to the final before. And when you are participating at the FIFA Club World Cup, good money, good money is guaranteed. So we have to try all that we can to see that very soon we'll get the Nigerian club to represent Africa. We will look back at what happened yesterday as well in the UEFA Champions League. Arsenal fans are still on cloud 9. Manchester United fans are still groaning, of course, smarting from their drop into the Europa League. We'll talk about it as well on the program tonight. And of course, we'll be listening to Arsene Wenger. That man has found a way of making it into the knockout phase of the UEFA Champions League year in, year out. Even when it doesn't look like it, Arsenal will just somehow find their way into the knockout phase. So we'll listen to Arsene Wenger. We'll listen to Jose Mourinho, who has won Champions League 2 times with 2 different clubs. We will also be listening to Gary Neville. They'll be reacting to how well their teams are performing in the UEFA Champions League. Of course, the last part of Sports Tonight, this Thursday, we're going to be reserving for basketball. Femi Adefeso was in Port Harcourt last week for the Division 1 playoffs, and is back with plenty of stories. And he has a lot for us in terms of happenings on the domestic scene, happenings on the continental scene, and of course, some slides of international basketball as well. So that's going to be the outlook for Sports Tonight, this beautiful Thursday. Just stick around with us for the next 50 minutes plus, and I'm sure you will enjoy every bit of what we've packed into today's edition of the show. Let me introduce to you my guest, my first guest on the show. Later on, we'll bring in more people on the program tonight. Tunde Koiki is a content specialist with Complete Communications Limited, publishers of Complete Sports, one of our best-selling sports dailies in Nigeria. So this is a man who knows his onions and
tomatoes. And potatoes.
And everything.
And yam.
when it comes to sports, that's the guy. Yams, potatoes, everything. Tunde Koiki is the man. And that's why, as always, part of us on Sports Tonight. But it's good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Thank
Promises to be a very exciting day.
Absolutely.
Because we're looking forward to a lot of drama tomorrow.
So much.
Who knows if the world will still be in one place tomorrow by the time the Court of Arbitration for Sports come out with the verdict on Michel Platini and the FIFA elections?
A lot of people are holding their breath.
We want to find out exactly what will happen.
A lot of people are holding their breath. So
amazing.
There's so much can change very quickly if
the permutations are hanging. All right. So that's that for feedback. But let's start off the show tonight, Tunde. This has been a very sober day because a few hours ago the story broke, and it's been we've just in the morning mood a little bit for former Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi. He's bereaved. Stephen Keshi last night, stroke early this morning, lost his dear wife of 33 years. She passed on after illness. So right now, Keshi is in mourning mood, and we empathize with him because it's not easy to lose a loved one. So that's how we start off the show tonight, by commiserating with former Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi, his family, his children, and all the loved ones that she left behind. We can't but commiserate with this man. He's a legend of the game. Won the Nations Cup for Nigeria as a captain, won as a coach, led Nigeria to the World Cup 2014 to second round. Has contributed his part immensely to football development in Nigeria. And right now, he's in mourning mood. And the Holy Book tells us that mourn with those who mourn and rejoice with those who rejoice. And I feel that as a nation, we owe this man that at this point in time, to mourn with him on the passing of his wife.
It's particularly sad. A wife of 33 years, one of your closest companion, a woman who followed him everywhere, from Stella of Abidjan to Anderlecht to Strasbourg. When he decided he wanted to rebuild his life, he set up his family in the United States of America. She held down the home front while he was away in Mali, in Togo, in Nigeria. He just lost probably his best friend. So you can imagine the tremendous amount of pain that he's feeling right now. And like you rightly said, we can only commiserate with him. This is a tremendous loss. I cannot imagine what he's feeling right now. But I only hope that God grants him and his family the fortitude to bear what is a monumental and irreplaceable loss.
All right, so that's how we start off Sports Tonight. Once again, commiserating with former Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi on the loss of his dear wife, Kate. That's her name, wife of 33 years. And of course, we pray that God will give them the strength and make him strong enough to be able to bear this loss. He has to start life all over again. Someone who stayed with you for 33 years, that's really huge. And it's, once again, very, we send our condolences to the family of Stephen Keshi. All right, that's how we start off the show. But let's come up now and take you to the tennis courts. We told you the Governor's Cup has been on, and for a very, very long time, this competition sponsored by the Lagos State Governor has moved from one governor to the other. It was Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu that started this some 15, 16 years ago, handed over to Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola, and they are sports-loving, amiable, Akinwumi Ambode has picked it up, but that's the positive part of it.